lot
was
going
in.
on, but
Let me read this. It says, "What else is out there? Our fears of alien attacks and fascination with UFO mysteries have advanced hand in hand with a scientific quest to understand our universe." It says, "What else is out there? UFOs unbound. The drive to make sense of strange sightings is more transparent than ever after recent congressional hearings." It says, "For decades, American military pilots have claimed to have seen fast-moving craft that appear to defy the known laws of physics. Some of these aerial incursions took place near nuclear power plants and naval ships. In 2009, concerned about the possibility that these unknown craft could be next-generation Russian or Chinese jets, Senators Harry Reid and Daniel Inouye Ted Stevens got the Pentagon to set up the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. The program looked into reports of airships that seemed to hover without any apparent means of lift, as well as those that could move quite fast without a sign of propulsion. It also studied video footage of unknown objects, including one recording made in 2004 by two Navy FA-18F Super Hornet jets that tracked a large oval object off the coast of San Diego. The Pentagon program ran until 2012 when it was discontinued without explanation. The AATIP was among the most recent of more than half a century of government efforts to understand what people have been witnessing since 1947. In that year, amateur pilot Kenneth Arnold was flying near Mount Rainier in Washington in a single prop called Air Model A when he saw 9 objects streaking faster than the speed of sound, a feat not achieved until a few months later by Colonel Chuck Yeager. More such accounts came to light, and fearing these craft might be Soviet, the U.S. force in 1948 started Project Sign to investigate. This was followed by Project Grunge. Then in 1952, Project Blue Book was launched. It cataloged 12,618 sightings, grouping them as their identified, caused by unknown human atmospheric or astronomical phenomena, or unidentified. Some 701 of the flying objects were unidentified. Let me read a little bit more. Around this time, Americans became obsessed with the idea of UFOs. In the early 1950s, the CIA set up a panel of physicists, astronomers, and rocket engineers headed by physicist Howard P. Robertson at Pasadena's California Institute of Technology. The Robertson panel interviewed military officers and those with Project Blue Book and reviewed photos of films of UFOs. They determined that 90% were explainable astronomical and meteorological phenomena such as bright planets and meteors or aircraft, balloons, and birds. They concluded that there were no real evidence of a threat to national security. A little bit more. In 1996, more reviews of Project Blue Book were carried out, and in 1968, a study of 59 UFO sightings resulted in the Condon Report. Like the Robertson panel, it found no evidence of otherworldly phenomena. The following year, Project Blue Book was discontinued. The Secretary of the Air Force, Robert C. Siemens, Jr., writing that it no longer can be justified either on the ground of national security or in the interest of science. Many were not convinced, and what was seen as a lack of government transparency did not help. Some wondered about the 701 unexplained Blue Book sightings. Scientists, engineers, and investigators continued their own independent studies, most notably Northwestern University astronomer J. Allen Hynek, who had been involved with Project Blue Book. Convinced that some of the reports indicated the possible presence of alien visitors, Hynek in 1973 set up the Center for UFO Studies. It dispatched researchers to study the Roswell site, where many believe a UFO crash occurred in 1947. The center still carries out investigations from its base in Evanston, Illinois. So what do you think about the UFOs and stuff? Like, they came out. I was kind of waiting for them to say it because I know they're going to talk about it. Because recently they came out with a report that said, like, yeah, we have these evidence of these ships, and they really are UFOs because we don't know what the hell. And
well,
they came out and specifically said they're not Russian or Chinese or from another government.
yeah. I mean, I think it's very possible. I mean, the thing about that is I know they say that the moon landing was fake back in 68, 69, whenever that was. But I mean, Tesla is going to Mars and going doing different stuff. So I mean, it would be the same thing if there was what he's doing would be a sighting in that on that planet, or it's I would say that it's at least possible. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to think about, like, this is something that has been said for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not like a new phenomenon that, oh, all of a sudden here's these crafts that just show up here. Like, this is something that has been reported as sightings for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? So I I don't know if it's really not to say it's nothing to get excited about, or because I mean I do have interest in it, but I mean when it really boils down to it, I mean you got to at least give it credit that, okay, this there's some realness to it.
I think a lot of people wouldn't be surprised if it was just like, okay, yeah, those are UFOs, and when we say UFOs, we mean some kind of alien spacecraft. I think
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
a large amount of people would just be like, "Oh, okay."
okay, cool. What color was it? I mean, did you see it personally? What can you tell me about it? Like, then that's awesome. Like, I mean, like some people will actually have that conversation. Of course, there's some people who believe nothing. You know what I'm saying? Only what they're told by their bosses, their masters and stuff. But some of us really enjoy, having that, like even if it is, I mean, I don't believe that is a crock of crap. I believe it's real. But that's what really makes it even more fascinating is that um, you know, these things come about every so often. Not any and everybody gets to see it with their own eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, we do rely on, people who saw it, because I mean, I've sat and watched videos for 2 or 3 hours of, there, somebody having an investigation, because I mean, you think about, okay, we see it here. Think about all the other countries in this on this planet that gets to see something like this on a regular basis. Like they said, like in the Bahamas, it's like all the time.
Hmm.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
yeah, it's super
Different
interesting to
parts.
me. Just freaking the idea of aliens. I always think about it. I'm super interested in it, and I don't know. It's just one of those things that I think that it's a weird thing to be obsessed with aliens, and the conclusion that I come to with that is that we're the aliens. Like, I
Well,
don't know, but I'm just
well, you
saying we're super obsessed with the stars. We're obsessed with the zodiacs and
I mean, it's all nature. That's the thing. That's the part that I think it's still, as no matter how scientific it might get, it still boils down to nature. It still, was built with something that came from the elements available to whatever that was. But the one of the things that I would even look at is that maybe that is us at a different time. Like it might be one of us that have slid through a portal that, like we talked about last night, and you know,
from a different
it's
time or a different dimension, and it's really just us.
yeah.
That's fucking interesting.
But
Anyways, then Trump.
your favorite president,
Announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
he's
To make
pissed.
America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
He gonna be running for president for 2 years. Damn, that's a long ass
Man,
time.
But
Let
I
me
mean,
be.
honestly, he's been running for president ever since he lost.
Yeah, with the rallies. Uh huh. It keeps him. I think that part of what he's doing is pretty damn genius, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's what I gotta say about that. Let me read this. It says former President Donald Trump has officially announced he is running for president in 2024, making his third bid for the White House. Third bid? Oh,
Yeah,
because
because
he lost the last time.
he
Okay.
lost the second one.
All right, let me read this. It says, saying we are a nation in decline and America's comeback starts right now. Trump made the announcement Tuesday night in an address from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. Trump, who was twice impeached during his 4 years in office, but is not convicted either time, maintains tight grasp on the Republican base. 6 in 10 Republicans back the former president as the party's leader, according to ABC News Washington Post poll from earlier this year.
Man, I'm starting to feel like this is just like a vicious uh game against the people. Like, I mean, it's such a roller coaster, like a back and forth, up and down. Just it's just a bunch of stuff to pull on everybody's heartstrings and getting people riled up and upset and happy and
Yeah, just woke up. I ain't gonna wake up.
like it's just all like